Announce on game day that Shadur has a quote-unquote back injury, yet he did go out to warm up. They watched him warm up and they disqualified him because he's got a back injury. I don't trust it for 1 second. Bailey Zappi has I said it 5 times on the show, he's been the unofficial, unstated backup quarterback.
I want to win. I don't care how much time is on the clock. They got their starters in. There's a chance we can win. I want to be a part of that. I don't care how dire the situation looks. I'm going to try to make something happen. So I hate coming out of those situations. I hate, that kind of inevitability and not being able to do anything about it. Because I want to win and I'll do anything.
If you're here, you're here.
Okay.
And coming up high. Good?
Here we go.
Eyes down the field.
Set.
Good, we're reading those seams. How's Garrett walking around with his shirt off? We gotta have that ready to roll. You know I'm mic'd up. I hope that makes it. Ball's on the right hash. Quick game. Push our timing on this. Ball.
The Cleveland Browns are right back in the middle of another jaw-dropping controversy. And this one's got the whole league watching. This time, it's all about Shedeur Sanders. After that painful loss to the Patriots, offensive coordinator Tommy Rees just flipped the whole script. Coach Kevin Stefanski claimed Shadur was injured and couldn't play, but Rees clearly wasn't buying that story one bit. Now the truth's leaking out, and it's wild.
How tough is it for you guys to have such a good defense, for you to be out there getting 5 sacks and putting the team on your back and just to not have any offense to go with it?
It doesn't get any easier. Each week you ask me.
Reports say Rees was seen giving direct play calls to Shadur right after the game, completely blowing up Stefanski's version of events. That moment told fans everything. Shadur wasn't sitting because of an injury. He was benched by his own coach. Even crazier, Rees didn't make a scene. No interviews, no public drama. Just quiet, calculated moves that spoke louder than any press conference ever could. His calm confidence sent a clear message. Stefanski isn't protecting his quarterback. He's holding him back. Inside the Browns facility, whispers are getting louder. Some say Stefanski's trying to keep full control by freezing out one of the most electric quarterbacks in the league. Meanwhile, Rees looks like the one actually thinking long-term. He's been mentoring Shedeur Sanders in private, fine-tuning his reads and getting him game-ready for when that moment finally comes. The tension? Off the charts. Every day it feels like this quiet rebellion is building steam. And if Rees keeps pushing, Stefanski's entire system could fall apart right in front of the NFL. Rees knows exactly what he's got in Shadur. A quarterback with precision, poise, and that undeniable fire. When Shedur's on the field, the ball explodes out of his hands. Those deep strikes downfield are pure highlight material. Yet all that talent is being wasted on the sideline while Dillon Gabriel keeps throwing short, awkward passes that barely move the chains. The Patriots game said it all. Gabriel's deep attempts were flat-out ugly, but Stefanski still refused to face the obvious.
No team's going to care that we have young guys. Guys around the league, young or old, are expected to make plays. And we had young guys step up and do that. But there's no expectation of you when you come in. There's less expected of you or more expected of you. The job.
It's starting to look personal, like he's got a grudge against Shadur. Even after Rees quietly exposed the truth, Stefanski doubled down, repeating that injury excuse like anyone still believed it. Come on, everyone saw Shadur warming up. Smooth drops, crisp throws, moving clean. Not a sign of an injury anywhere. So what was Stefanski really thinking? And how long can he keep this cover-up going before the whole locker room turns on him? That's not an injured player. That's a benched weapon. Let's be honest, this has nothing to do with health and everything to do with control. Stefanski's injury story is falling apart faster than the Browns' O-line in the fourth quarter. Fans, insiders, even ex-players are calling it for what it is. A power play gone wrong. The whispers around Cleveland are now full-blown conversations, and the message is clear. Kevin Stefanski doesn't want Shedeur Sanders anywhere near that QB2 spot, and he's willing to gamble the entire season to prove it. That's not just questionable coaching. That's personal, and everyone's finally starting to see it. Then came Skip Bayless, and he didn't pull a single punch. When Skip went at Stefanski, it was full blast. No filter, no hesitation. He ripped into Stefanski for letting Shedeur Sanders go through warm-ups looking sharp, confident, and totally game-ready, only to bench him last minute with a suspicious injury excuse. Skip said it flat out. This wasn't about health. This was favoritism. Plain and simple. According to Bayless, Stefanski's got a clear bias toward Bailey Zapp, and the injury story was just a smokescreen. He even said the team's entire quarterback setup was a lie, claiming the real backup wasn't Shadur at all. It was Zappe from the start. That's not just controversy. That's straight-up deception unfolding live on national TV.
His best is what a backup does. This is what backups do.
They play about that?
They play for a few games, and then they get figured out, and there wasn't much to figure out with him, and he's been figured out here. So you can expect more of the same if he continues to go.
And while the media is dragging Stefanski through the mud, Tommy Rees is quietly putting out fires inside the locker room. He's not stirring drama. He's preventing it, trying to keep the Browns from completely imploding. Rees knows this mess is bigger than one player or one game. The entire leadership structure is cracking under pressure. Then comes Myles Garrett, and when a guy like him starts speaking up, the whole league listens. Garrett made it crystal clear in his press conference. He's done with the excuses, done with the confusion, and definitely done with Stefanski's spin. He called out the dysfunction that's been eating this team alive from the top down, and you could feel the fire in every word. The tension's explosive. This locker room is one argument away from a full meltdown. For Myles Garrett, the mission's simple: win. Every snap, every hit, every ounce of sweat he gives is about chasing that one goal. But lately, it's starting to look like all his effort is being swallowed by chaos. Bad play calling, slow drives, and wasted opportunities. He's out there dominating, making highlight reel defensive plays that should flip momentum. But what's the point when the offense can't even keep the ball moving? You could see the frustration boiling over. Cameras caught Garrett pacing the sideline, kicking equipment, shaking his head. No filter, no fake smiles. Just pure emotion. That wasn't a tantrum. That was a leader losing patience with the same mistakes happening over and over again. When reporters pressed him after the game, Garrett didn't hide behind cliches. He said the questions everyone keeps asking are the same ones he's been asking all week, and still nothing's changing. He didn't drop names, but everyone in that room knew exactly where the heat was aimed. Straight at Kevin Stefanski and Dillon Gabriel. Tommy Rees's quiet push to get Shedeur Sanders into the spotlight says it all.
That he'll continue to improve.
And if I can ask a super quick follow-up on that, why wouldn't you, just to see if it does anything to the offense, give him an opportunity to go in there and play?
Yeah, obviously my focus is where we are right now, Mary Kay. That's not my focus.
Even he knows something's about to break before this entire team caves in under frustration. Myles Garrett didn't hold back either. When it came to Dillon Gabriel, he said exactly what everyone else was thinking. No filters, no sugarcoating. Garrett laid it out plain and raw. Being a young quarterback doesn't earn you a free pass in the NFL. Once you step on that field, nobody cares about your age, your draft story, or your college highlight reel. You either make plays or get out of the way. There's no room for excuses, no soft landings, no safety nets when the game's on the line. Garrett made it clear as day. Results are everything. Either you deliver, or you drag everyone down with you. Simple as that. And right now, Gabriel's performance just isn't cutting it. The offense looks lost, drives are stalling, and every missed throw feels like another gut punch to the defense. Guys like Garrett are out there leaving everything on the field, only to watch the offense hand it right back. Even Emmanuel Acho jumped in, echoing Garrett's frustration and pointing out the storm brewing inside the Browns' locker room. He said, "When a star like Myles Garrett publicly questions the offense, that's a massive red flag that something's seriously wrong." And yet Stefanski keeps doubling down, refusing to bench Gabriel and sticking to a plan that's clearly not working.
Thinking behind that and how'd that go?
Yeah, he obviously came in Saturday with his back injury. We were hopeful that he'd be able to move around well enough to suit up on Sunday, but put him through a pregame warm-up, and obviously it just didn't.
Fans are watching this like a slow-motion car crash, waiting for the moment Stefanski finally admits what everyone else already knows. Kevin Stefanski is catching fire from every angle now, not just from fans, but from inside his own organization. His stubborn loyalty to Dillon Gabriel as the starting QB has become one of the most talked about mistakes of the entire season. Everyone's seeing the same story play out. Gabriel looks sharp early, then folds when defenses turn up the pressure. The spark fades, the reads slow down, and the offense flatlines. At this point, it's obvious. Gabriel's built for the backup role, not the spotlight. Around Cleveland, the noise is growing by the day. Give Shedeur Sanders the ball. Fans, analysts, even some players are in full agreement. Shadur might be the only one who can actually turn this season around. Gabriel's still trying to prove he belongs, but it's clear he's not the long-term answer. And time's running out fast. Every week, Stefanski hesitates. The Browns' playoff hopes fade a little more. Right now, the franchise is standing at a crossroads that could define its entire future. Stefanski's refusal to let Shedeur Sanders take command is fueling unrest everywhere. inside the locker room and across the fan base. Players are frustrated, coaches are split, and fans are flat out done with the excuses. If Stefanski keeps doubling down on his own bad calls, this won't just be a rough stretch. It'll be the move that defines his downfall. The tension inside the Browns' locker room is explosive. You can feel it in every sideline interaction, every post-game interview, every frustrated stare. Myles Garrett and other key leaders aren't biting their tongues anymore. They're openly questioning Stefanski's leadership, calling out his stubbornness, and demanding change before the whole team implodes. At this point, it's not even just a football issue. It's a culture crisis inside the Cleveland Browns. While Stefanski keeps repeating the same failed strategies, Tommy Rees has quietly become the glue holding this team together. His calm energy, sharp decision-making, and unwavering belief in Shedeur Sanders have made him the quiet stabilizer in a storm that's tearing the locker room apart. He might not be saying it outright, but Tommy Rees's every move screams leadership. He's guiding Shedeur Sanders, motivating players, and slowly earning the kind of respect that Kevin Stefanski is losing by the day. The cracks in Stefanski's leadership aren't just visible anymore. They're splitting wide open. His stubborn refusal to adapt or even acknowledge the obvious fix, giving Shadur his shot, and is tearing the locker room apart. Players are venting behind closed doors, fans are fuming in the stands, and whispers among the coaching staff are turning into full-blown conversations every week. If something doesn't change soon, the next up in Cleveland won't be at quarterback. It'll be at head coach, and the quiet man in the background, Tommy Rees, might just be the one stepping into the spotlight. It's starting to look like the Browns already have their next leader waiting in the wings. And it's not the guy with the title. The Browns' internal drama is boiling over, spilling out of the locker room and into every press conference and sideline shot. Every conversation, every tense glance, every post-game interview carries that same nervous energy. Players are divided, coaches are frustrated, and the fans can feel something big is about to explode. The team's unity, once their greatest strength, is now hanging by a thread, and all eyes are locked on Kevin Stefanski, who looks completely disconnected from the mess he created. Meanwhile, Tommy Rees is quietly building something behind the scenes: respect, trust, and loyalty. He's not backing Shedeur Sanders just because of his talent. He believes Shadur is the spark that could reignite this broken offense. Word inside the facility is that players are gravitating toward Rees, viewing him as the real leader, the one holding this crumbling team together while everyone else scrambles for answers. And honestly, who can blame them? When the head coach keeps ignoring the obvious, someone's gotta take charge. Stefanski's refusal to bench Dillon Gabriel has gone from questionable to downright reckless. The offense looks lifeless, the defense is exhausted, and team morale is buried at rock bottom. Fans are booing louder, insiders are leaking details daily, and even local media is turning up the heat on Stefanski. Every loss is gasoline on an already blazing fire, and at this point, it's no longer about football. It's about accountability. The Browns are standing on the edge of a total meltdown, and if Stefanski doesn't act fast, that decision might be made for him. Because right now, Tommy Rees is earning quiet respect. Shedeur Sanders is waiting for his chance, and a changing of the guard feels inevitable. And honestly, it might be the only move that can save this team from completely collapsing. The Cleveland Browns are teetering on the edge of total chaos, and Kevin Stefanski's latest decisions might just push them over the line. Reports are swirling that the front office is losing faith fast, especially after how he's handled the Shedeur Sanders situation. Myles Garrett, a guy who's always been about action over talk, has suddenly become the voice of the Browns' frustration. His post-game comments, his expressions on the sidelines, everything about him screams he's done watching this slow-motion train wreck unfold. When your star player starts publicly questioning leadership, that's not just a bad look. That's a full-blown crisis. Players are whispering about changes coming soon, and those whispers, they're no longer whispers. They're shouts echoing through the entire organization. The locker room tension is sky high, and it's clear Kevin Stefanski's grip on this team is slipping fast. Meanwhile, Tommy Rees is becoming the calm in the middle of the storm. He's keeping players focused, coaching Shedeur Sanders behind the scenes, and proving he can handle pressure in a way Stefanski just can't. Even insiders are admitting it. Rees's influence is growing fast. He's earning trust not through titles or politics, but through steady leadership, clear direction, and respect. At this point, one thing's certain. Cleveland can't keep going like this. The front office has a decision to make: stick with a head coach who's lost control, or hand the reins to the man who's already holding the locker room together. Because if something doesn't shift soon, this won't just be another disappointing season. It'll be the moment the Browns' entire foundation cracks beyond repair. The Cleveland Browns are standing on the edge of collapse, and Stefanski's refusal to move off Dillon Gabriel has turned what could have been a comeback year into a circus of bad calls, locker room tension, and wasted potential. Fans are restless, players are frustrated, and the entire city can feel the window closing. Everyone's asking the same question now. How much longer can Stefanski really hold on? The locker room is divided. Trust is fading, and even his most loyal supporters are starting to lose faith. Gabriel might be giving effort, but in the NFL, effort doesn't win games. Results do. And the only consistent thing about this offense right now is how inconsistent it looks. Shedeur Sanders is ready, fired up, focused, and more than capable of turning this team around. Yet somehow he's still being held back, watching the same mistakes repeat week after week. At the same time, Tommy Rees continues to be the glue holding everything together. His patience, his quiet confidence, and his unshakable belief in Shadur have kept the Browns from falling apart completely. But even that calm won't last forever, not if the people at the top keep pretending everything's fine. So now the question is real, Cleveland. Is Kevin Stefanski making the right call by sticking with Dillon Gabriel? Or is it finally time to give Shedeur Sanders his moment and let the kid take over? And beyond that, is Tommy Rees the man who can steer this ship back on course? Or does this franchise need a full-scale reset from the top down? Drop your thoughts in the comments, Cleveland. Let's hear where you stand. Team Stefanski or Team Sanders? Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share if you're riding with the Browns through the storm. Because whatever happens next, it's about to get loud.